The stories, scenarios, and conversations shared on Work Comp Over Wine are for educational and entertainment purposes only. All identifying details have been changed to protect the privacy of individuals, employers, providers, and organizations. Any resemblance to real people or cases is purely coincidental. Nothing discussed in this podcast should be taken as legal, medical, or professional advice. We're here to share experiences, insights, and a little wine-fueled wisdom, responsibly and anonymously. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
And you guys, welcome to Work Comp Over Wine once again. And here we are in the afternoon, and we're going to be pouring. Okay, we like to start with what we're having, and hopefully you're having something too. I'm doing a J. Wrigley.
Shocker. It's a shocking thing to pick.
This time it's not a Pinot Noir. Okay, it's a Syrah, and it's 2023. It's a little bold and peppery. Lid's already off. I don't know why I'm pushing.
Well, your glass is already almost empty.
And surprisingly nice for an afternoon sipper for me.
Okay, I'm gonna have some Chateau. Is it Saint Chateau Michel or Chateau Saint Michel?
Oh,
see how it's up.
Mm-hmm. Good product placement.
Mm-hmm. Creates a discussion. Sauvignon Blanc. I was going to have J. Wrigley, but I chose a white sweatshirt. Cheers.
So, depending on the clothing you're wearing, dictates the wine that you're drinking.
It does. It really does.
We'll put that on some merch right there.
Okay.
I like that I'm using the word merch too. So again, welcome everybody. We're pouring out some wine and ideas related to Work Comp. And on this episode, I just got to thinking, based on questions we get from some of our newbies and some of the people that are taking our training, how do we capture our time in this industry?
It's a good topic.
I don't want to say it's a headache, but a challenge,
a learning curve.
It's interesting when we try to explain it to people because we may get healthcare workers, social workers, people who are not in the insurance industry, and they come in and they say, "What? I have to bill for my time?" And it's very new.
Yeah, I would agree. And it is also specific to the nurse case management side of the industry. Not like an insurance adjuster doesn't have to bill for their time.
Right. So it's very specific to how the case manager demonstrates the work that they're doing on a file.
Right.
And it's in the 0.1s and the 0.2s and the 0.3s, it's the 0.6 of an hour. So, being curious, how did this even come to be?
Oh, wow. You tell me, girl.
Well, I grokked it, and I'm a grokker, and now I'm using a noun as a verb because I like to do that too. And I'll tell you, this guy, Reginald Smith, he was an attorney in Boston in the 1920s, and he was looking for an internal work tool to help his office staff because they weren't capturing what they were doing. And decimal math is very easy versus add 15 minutes, add 13 minutes. So he came up with the 0.1 of an hour.
Okay.
The 0.1, 0.2, and that was back in 1920.
Well, we still use it. I don't love that for us. I'm a little bit salty about it, but thanks, Reginald, for that great idea.
And well, I'd like to talk more about it because I'd like to, dive deep what it is, what we can do to maybe morph it into something better, if that even exists, and talk about some of the challenges that we not only have experienced, but we're getting from people who are taking our course and who are starting to work with us at MindNet RN. And I just thought it was an interesting topic.
It is. Where are we going to start? Typical day? What does a typical day look like for billing?
Well, in a typical day as a case manager, and I'm trying to not say nurse case manager every time because we have some non-nurse case managers. I'll start from when a new person comes on, and I'm trying to explain to them, you're care planning all the time in your head. Like when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm thinking about not
Mr. Smith, because that's Reginald Smith. That's the attorney.
Don't think about
I'm
Reginald
thinking
Smith.
about
No,
Mr. Jones.
Not anymore today.
Thinking about Mr. Jones.
Okay.
And I'm brushing my teeth and I'm thinking about his appointment that's coming up and what do I have to pull together for the doctor in terms of documents that we're going to discuss and what does Mr. Jones want to get out of that appointment? Like all that stuff is going on in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And but then when you actually sit down to do the work, you can only invoice for picking up the phone, writing an email, traveling to an office visit.
It's very specific.
It's very specific.
Mm-hmm. The rules that guide the billing are very boxed. It's very, you can do this, you cannot do this. And it's also dependent on who you're working with and for, right? That it changes. It's not consistent across the industry. It varies dramatically, I would say.
Oh, I was going to say, is it dramatically?
Yeah.
Because I know you deal a lot more with the business development side and the invoicing and
Right.
what you're seeing,
Mm-hmm.
special handling coming from different clients and different referral sources. It does vary.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Again, frustrating when your typical day, you're billing and you have to stop your flow to think, wait, can I even bill for this?
Mm-hmm.
Can I capture this time?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And especially in a world where, honestly, it's 2026, Reginald. But we don't pick up the phone as often as you would want to send a text, right?
Right.
You don't Google or research, analyze as often as asking an AI a question. So finding a way to capture that time that's ethically and responsible and adheres to guidelines, definitely challenging.
Oh my gosh, you mentioned the word ethical. So ethical billing.
Mm-hmm.
What if I get an email from an account that says thanks? I know I'm allowed to bill a 0.1
Allowed.
for an email. I'm permitted.
Permitted, yeah. Yep.
But really it only says thanks. So how do I know ethically, when I'm new to this business?
I think it's hard. I think it's the hardest part of it. I know we have ideas for how to move in a different direction. But I think that learning that the adjuster, let's say, is sending you that thanks, correct?
Correct.
At the end of it all, you're billing that adjuster. It's coming out of the employer's pocket, right? That's how it all
Mm-hmm.
works.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a nicety. I think it's a respect to know, oh, they're saying thank you. That's a human to human connection. It's not necessary. I don't need to be paid for reading that. Does that make sense?
Yes, except for it makes sense to me. But if I was a person that is so literal, like so literal,
Yeah.
It's a hard concept, I think, to get across. We do that at Mind Ed. We teach people who have never done this before, and they come in and they have great clinical minds and they have great critical thinking skills, and we teach them this industry.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can be taught to a coachable person. It can be taught.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
It's still a challenge.
And it's something that you continue to learn as you go. I don't think on your first file you know 100% what you're doing, and in our training they send us an invoice. We go through that invoice line by line for I think the first 30 days is our culture. So that we give them feedback consistently to say, hey, we looked at this email. It really, sure, on paper you could bill a 0.1, but it was just a thank you. So let's not do that. Maybe we capture our time somewhere else. That type of training.
Yeah, you capture your time maybe in the physical sense, like when you're with the doctor and you're coordinating care and you're managing the diagnostics and securing the next appointment, and those are very tangible pieces that you can bill for. I mean, we talked about getting a little bit of pushback from emails that are the niceties, the thank yous, you're welcome, have a great day, don't bill for that. But have you ever had a pushback on anything that's unusual? Like, okay. Do
100%.
tell. Do tell.
Let me tell you. Post-visit updates, which I find to be so much more informative than a monthly report. I know that might be stepping on some toes.
Well, okay, let me back you up for our not our readers, not our gentle readers, our gentle viewers, our gentle wine sharing viewers, tell them what a post visit update
Or
is.
listeners.
Yeah.
We accept them all.
If you're listening on Spotify or Apple.
Yeah, there you go. So a post visit update is an update that a case manager or nurse case manager provides to the client, the appropriate parties, following a doctor's visit. It has the most up-to-date information on the care. It has the most up-to-date on the work status, how close we are to maximum medical improvement and case closure. And then there's the report, which is all the post-visit updates piled into a bunch of paper.
So you're right. So who's benefiting from the report when really the post-visit update is the real-time, most recent, here you go.
You should be able to bill for that.
You should be able to bill for that.
But a lot of times
that's the kickback that you get. Any plans to wave your magic wizard wand to fix that?
It's a tough one. I think keeping the communication open with who you're billing, I think, is important, and standing by what we believe to be valuable and what our clients ultimately believe to be valuable. To say, hey, we bill you for this because it's valuable information. That's it.
And reasonable.
We're not going to unethically bill you. We're not going to overbill you, but this is important.
I had a thought when you were speaking about it depends on the source, right? If you are your referral source, let's say, is directly to the adjuster, and you're having these conversations ongoing, the adjuster doesn't blink twice about what you're billing for your efforts.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get a referral from downline, let's say a competitor or a larger case management company, and then it goes to a smaller case management company, and then eventually it trickles down. Right. There's so many layers of people that are pushing back on your billing and your invoicing. Why can't we standardize things in this industry?
I think it's hard. I think change is hard. And obviously you've been doing it a much longer time than me.
But I want your fresh approach. I because we've been doing it since Reginald's time. The fresh, youthful approach is where we're going to get our newer ideas, I think, from the next generation. Not that it's because it's always been done this way. We continue to do it this way.
Okay. So then how do we avoid that burnout mindset of doing it the way that it's always been done and transition maybe into some new ideas without scaring everybody?
My NetRN, I'm just going to put a little pat on our back here. I know we've got some ideas that we'll be sharing at the WCI coming up, but I got to tell you, there's some thought to, well, of course, flat rates from some of the accounts that shall not be named. Hey, let's stick with the wizard theme. The accounts that shall not be named.
He who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named.
Got it. Okay.
They want to give you a flat rate because it's convenient. It seems to make sense. But the amount is, okay, if I live in the clinic and I don't want to make any money, I'll take this flat rate. It's that ridiculous.
I would like to do you a favor by walking to my local clinic and saying hello to my aunt. Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying not to be facetious, but really, yeah. Everybody is doing good work, and you want to be compensated for your good work. So,
from a nurse case manager perspective, yes. A lot of times when those models are created, they're not created by anybody who's ever done case management ever.
Oh, okay. When you talk about who's actually feet on the ground, boots in the field, versus those layers up here that have no idea
what nurse case managers, what value they bring, why that post-visit update should be paid for, they don't know.
Or if I'm doing a really detailed update to an employer, and it's about work status and work restrictions and physical capabilities, because that's what we update the adjuster on. But it takes me a few minutes. I would bill appropriately for that email, either a 0.1 or a 0.2, but then I would reference my special guidelines and it says 0. I just throw up my hands.
Update to the adjuster is always 0.
Well, and the employer sometimes.
Yeah, I think that should be changed. And maybe that's just my opinion as coming in and trying to refocus the industry on why are we here? Why do we exist? We exist to help an injured worker. We're not all here to make money off of everyone. No, we're here to help the injured worker. You want good work? There's going to be a little bit of a cost to that update, guys. It's going to get you farther, I promise.
Focus group. I think you could pull together a focus group to discuss this very thing.
Okay, I like that.
One of the things that they're talking about besides the flat rate that I wanted to speak about
Sure.
is value-based pricing. And that
value. Okay, tell me more.
Like if
What's
you
that?
get someone back to work faster, then you pay X number of dollars or you get a discount. And I just can't imagine that. So help me. Are you
Listeners,
able?
I'm rolling my eyes if you can't see me right now, because what a silly thing. That goes back to the basic principle of it costs you more money to hire a new person than to bring your old person back on. That's like, we know that.
That's a good analogy.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
So there's this flat rate, which right now seems very minimal. There's this value-based pricing. And really, you know, we should be able to bring in some tech because we're in 2026. We got Grok, got AI. Is there a way, do you think, of just bringing in some technology to help us capture our time and our billing? And
I think that's an interesting question because we do have a team member who's recently joined us who is very, he's got a great background in robotics and systems and AI and all those things, managing data, right? And he has put together some really great ideas on, okay, an appointment should be standardized for this many things, right? It should have confirming, visit, checkout, all of these things.
Standardized, okay.
Standardized, right? So he can have an AI model say every appointment that's on the calendar should have these things. But the thing is that because he hasn't been in the industry or as the case manager, he doesn't know, oh, wait, sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes there's x-rays, sometimes. And so
that's interesting.
There still has to be that human touch at the end to make sure that everything is correct for that specific file.
I love that. I love that. I almost want to wrap it up with knowing that the human touch is what's most important. That yes, we're capturing what we're physically doing, but that human to human interaction at the end of the day sometimes is priceless. Oh my gosh.
What a way to end a podcast. And on that note,
cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.